Just read last week, Parshas Kadoshim, we read in the pasuk Lo Tzanachashu v'Lo Soinanu. We already spoke last week about Lo Tzanachashu. Now we're going to talk about Lo Soinanu. What's Lo Soinanu? So it says Rashi, Loshon Oinos v'Shoes, mean timing. Meaning you're not allowed to do certain timing. Shomer, for example, you're saying Yom Ploini, Yom Felaskel Melacha. You're going to say this day is a good day to start my project or my work. It's a lucky day because you're not allowed to do it. Show Ploinis Koshalotzes. So this hour, it's not a good hour to go out. It's not a lucky hour. People have this lucky days, lucky hours. Every country, every nation have their own understanding of lucky. So that's it says you're not. The Torah says time. You're not allowed to do this timing. Because if they trust Hashem, do what they are going to do. So that's over here in Parshas Kedoshim. We have a similar posuk in Parshas Shoiftim. It says over there like this. Yeah, it says like this. The posuk says, Lo yimotza b'cho ma'avir b'noi v'to b'esh koisem ksomim, what negea to us, ma'oinen u'menachash u'mechashav. You're not allowed to have a ma'oinen. Again, the same idea from Meloshon oina, timing. So Rashi brings over here, ma'oinen Rabbi Akiva oimer, that's from Gemara Sanhedrin, Daf Samachem Mud Beis. Rabbi Akiva says, "Me'oinen." It says, "That's what he brought in the Parshas Kedoshim. People that do timing. That's a lucky time. That's not a lucky time. Yeah." And then it says, "V'chachomim." It brings also in Parshas Shoftim the opinion of Chachomim. Elu oichzei ha'enayim. It's not just according to Chachomim. You want to set timing, it's okay. The people know astrology. They know what's a more lucky time. But Chachomim, what's oinen? People do something magic with their eyes. They make believe they'll see something, which is the Rambam says this is they see nothing. This is just they just make believe. Anyway, so according so again, Rashi in the Parashah just brings the das of Rabbi Akiva, and Shoftim he brings both opinions. So Lamaisa, what we allow to do, what's not. There's a problem bichlal with this timing wise. So according to Chachamim, it's no problem because the Isur of Ma'oinen, that's when you hold your eyes in a certain way, it looks a very, very mystical way, and it means nothing. It's baloney. Hashem don't want us to believe in the superstitious stuff that doesn't make any sense. He wants us to be smart. We already spoke about the opinion of the Rambam, how he looks at those things. Fine. But according to Rabbi Akiva, timing you're not allowed to do. The Choyra, we have the enough timing in the Jewish religion. We have a lot of it. I'll give you an example. It says in Hilchas Tisha B'Av, it says in chapter Tov Kuf Nun Aleph, Meshenichnas Ov Mamatin B'Simcha. Ov comes in, you will reduce our happy things we're doing. Ubari Yisrael this Ladina Ba'ad Kusi. If you have a dispute with a goy, Lishtamet Mined Deriya Mazala. Don't if you have a court case, if you have a dispute with a goy and Ov, don't go with him to court because your mazel is bad now and Ov. So it's timing. And this month our mazel is not the best. It's timing. We're not allowed to do it. Now we see also such a halacha. The Magen Avraham brings in Hilchas Purim. It's brought in the Gemara, but the Poskim doesn't bring. Magen Avraham bring this. Magen Avraham says in Hilchas Purim in Tov Reish Pei Vav, Mishenichlas Oder Marbim B'Simcha. Something by Ov, it says, we reduce Simcha by Oder, we marbim Simcha, and he brings, Umishesh lo dinim akum, yishpat ba Oder. You have a court case with a goy, do it on Oder, your mazel is strong. So, it's timing. And also there's another halacha, if Tov Reish Samech Dalet, the Ramah brings it by talks about the day of Shana Rabbah, the Ramah brings over there also something to do with the timing. He said like this, if Tov Reish Samech Dalet, the Ramah says, if you go on the shadow of the moon by the night of Hoshana Rabbah, there is a certain sign. People that know how it works, you could see what's going to happen to him or to your relatives in this year. So some saying, don't look into it because it might even make things worse because you're going to be afraid and you don't understand well how it works. And he says, he doesn't say it's osur the Ramah. He says, better Elias Tomim l'lachkar asidas. Between Muslim and I don't see what the future holds for you. But Lamaisa, so again, we've got three halachas in Shulchan Aruch that were connected to timing of. The mazel is not so good. Other use mazel good. The Shana Rabbah, it's something you could figure out with the time. The Chayra, that's all in of okay. This already. Okay, I'm not going to go to more details. There's more, but the Chayra, how we do this? Okay, so the this halacha of Mo'oinen that you're not allowed to do the timing is brought in Shulchan Aruch. Tur Shulchan Aruch in Yeredeh Kuf Ein Tes, and it says over there like this. It says Mo'oinen. So the Tur brings what's Mo'oinen. We said in the Gemara there's two opinions. According to Rabbi Akiva, it's timing, and according to Chachamim, when somebody holds his eyes, making believe he sees something. Mo'oinen za oiches einayim. He makes believe he looks like he's doing something with his eyes. He's doing nothing. It's just it's just a show. Since he doesn't do any maisa, it's only also, but there's no malchus, because malchus only when you have a maisa. Then he brings the opinion of Rabbi Akiva. That's also, the Tur combines two opinions. You're not allowed to do, according to Chachamim, to hold your eyes like you're seeing something, and you're not allowed to do like Rabbi Akiva to do timing. Say that's a good day, a bad day. We don't do that. Then he brings the Rambam. Some people, he says, show me batstiglinus. I mean, astrology. People know astrology. It's such a science. And they say, Yom Poloni Tov, Yom Poloni Roy. This day is a lucky day. It's good to start the project that day. Chodesh Poloni, Shah Poloni is raw. Ladover Poloni, that month and that hour, it's bad for certain things. We cannot do this timing to say that's bad or good, even though you don't do any ma'aser. Even you don't do nothing, you don't do or not do anything, you just tell people this, your opinion and your knowledge of astrology says we should not do it. If you take it, do it, bank on this knowledge, he says, according to Rambam, it's Malchus. Okay, without adding the Malchus or no Malchus, it's Machlokes Haposkim. L'maisa, according to this, we're still not allowed to do timing. So how come we do those timings? So I tell you, the punchline, I see people already want to go away. So I tell you, the punchline is that there is a Ramban over here, which looks like the Poskim follow this Ramban. We see in the Gemara more than that. We see there is such a thing of mazalas, because the Gemara at the end of Shabbos says whoever born on a certain day, a certain mazel. Then there's a mazel of Shoes, the Gemara says, mazel of the hour, the 7 mazalas changing every hour, constantly, every day of our life, every hour, there's a different mazel, and it influences us. So the Choira looks like the research thing mazel, the Gemara at the end of Shabbos brings a lot of stories with that. So what's the Lamaisa? We should do it, we should not do it. So it says like this. The Ramban says like this. Oh, right here, yeah. The Fichach en shalom ela mahalach betmim shnotom yem shalom lakach. Im robem dober shlo kirtzoynoi oisa mitzvah ma betfilah. So first of all, lechatchila should not go to astrologists, ask what holds for me in the future. Maybe you could see your mazel, because if there is something there, all you have to do is daven better, yeah, to do more mitzvahs, connect to Hashem, and Hashem will protect you. But if you saw it, and we see by all the stories of the Gemara, they did not go ask astrologists, not of the Chachamim. Astrologists told them, we see by you mazel like this. So say, if you do know something is going on, and astrology says, you have to be careful, he says. Because it is astrology, it's Hashem created the Teva, and He created Teva in a certain way, there's some influence, something like we have hot and cold in the nature. We have also the 12 mazalas Hashem created, they have influence on the Teva. That's Hashem created this Teva. And if the Teva holds something against you, so you say, I don't ignore it, it says, and somchim alanes, ukasovarani. That's the notion of the Ramban, I'm sorry. You're not allowed to do. You should not go ask what holds for you in the future. But if you happen to know, for example, we know that Chodesh Av is a bad mazel, so we're telling you be careful with that month. We know that Chodesh Adar is a lucky month for us, so we're telling you go do things that you're lucky in that. So things that known already, don't go against the mazel, against the teva, that because you're soymech alanes. Yeah, according to the Rambam, all this divrei hevel v'shtus, like that's, but according to the Ramban, and the same thing also the Nimuka Yosef holds like the Ramban, and that's what the B'Sheis brings. Al mashanaga shelo listen noshim ela b'milei halavana. There's another thing we have in timing. People make chasanas. It says better make the chasanas when the moon is full, meaning from the beginning of the month it's filling up the moon, not the end of the month when it's already diminishing. It's more better mazel. People get married, they want to have a good mazel with their wife, with their family. So you get married milei halavana. So it's again the timing. Yeah. since it's known that when the levana is growing, it's more mazeldik. When it's going down, it's less mazeldik. So it says, should the bring from the Nimukei Yosef, that's okay to do. That again, things that are known, you don't ignore it. But to go to experts and start knowing the future and start timing your life with the future, that's what we don't do. Says like this. And he brings a raya. We used to anoint the kings by the Nahar, by the river. Why? Because it's more lucky by the river. So we do have some concern or sensitivity to the nature. We do count the nature. Again, that the nature that Hashem created. But to go look what the future holds for me, that is that we're not allowed to do. So Lamaisa, here's Halacha Lamaisa. Whatever it's known, that according to the Ramban and Nimukei Yosef, that's also by the way in Shulchan Aruch. That's how the Ramon Shulchan Aruch paskin. It's like this. Nohagu she'en maschilin bevesu v'dalet. We don't start any project Monday or Wednesday, it says, because it's known. And that says the stars born on those days that the Levush brings. It's very it's very difficult and very tough. It's not such a lucky day, so we have to start a new project. Don't start it on Monday and then Wednesday. It says. We get married when the moon is getting fuller. It's more luckier then. Again, and then the Ramo brings all this. What's known, you don't go against the teva like the Ramban says. Elo, he concludes the Ramo. And lachar achar zeh. But you should not go and search everything what the astrology says, how things are going to be in the future, because we have to be Tamim Hashem, do what you do what you have to do, you daven, you get close to Hashem, you do what you want, and Hashem will put. But things that known, the teva shouldn't go against the nature. Okay.